Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins, where today we are gonna go look at the Codex, which might take 10 years, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because, tactics screen is a tool used to customize your party's actions. Yeah, but combat basics, Mage. To pause for tactical preparation, use the left trigger. Oh, really? Mages can use spells. Simply highlight your target, but move your character towards it, and cast a spell from the radial menu. Or press the button indicated next to his click slot. Okay. Okay. Name is particularly challenging. Opponents are displayed in different colors. Oh, right. Okay. Right. Hold down both and you'll be able to set all your party members at once. I can also use the tactics menu to adjust how the game controls your party menus. Okay. Well, I thought it said on normal that there was no friendly fire on normal. Okay. Oh, so that's where my fatigue penalty comes from. Okay. 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 Alright, that wasn't the important stuff. But we're gonna do the Codex because I don't want to get too far into the game without catching up on all the knowledge and the lore. Oh. Stronger and doughtier. The Alamari. Oh, so he didn't take her with permission. They just ran off together. Morgan! So he was seduced by her, but then he was like, oh, just kidding. I like my other wife better. Oh my gosh. You can't curse him as the murderer of his own kin when she didn't know, when he didn't know. Oh, that sucks. Why did they take him? The dwarves take Lithias. He like ran off with the princess and all this stuff. Odd. Oh god, okay, Alistair. Right. Ah, okay. And he does have a queen. Okay. His mother was from the Neanderthals, his father from Tevinter. Wow. Into his free marches in Orlais. Yeah, Canaan had thrown the order out 200 years earlier. I wonder why. Huh. It's very interesting that if you see my Inquisition walkthrough, you'll know that has a particular meaning. Okay, first enchanter. Surrogate parent. With an added dose of cunning. Right, this guy. I remember something about him. Okay. It seems like he has more loyalty than the king does, you know what I mean? This guy, I don't blame him, he's like a symbol to the people, but that could be dangerous, representing the first point. Encouragement. Oh! Dude. I think I called them the Kokiri Wilds. I meant Kokari. The Chassin Wilders, the Kokari Wilds are actually some of my favorite. Like, it's really interesting, their stuff. I actually really wish you could play as a Chassin. It'd be really cool. It isn't a naturally defensible position, if you remember from the beginning. It's kind of on a mountaintop cliff, like the edge of a mountain, the top of a mountain, so it's everything coming to it has to come up. There's no high ground around it. It's a very stable position. Right, so is this the second blight? I think it's this, no. It's like the third blight, I think. By Sister Patrine. To Winter Imperium. Wow. The Imperium is little more than a dilapidated old slattern, crouching in the far north of Thetis, drunkenly cursing at passerby to recall her faded beauty. Yikes, that's harsh. Buried in the layers of filth that the Imperium's decadence has accumulated over the ages. I have a particular fondness for decadent decay. Stuff like Bioshock. It's nice. It's very cool. Very... Well, it's not... It's just very interesting. It's not cool. It's just very interesting. By the Imperium and the Kunari. Minrathas has been besieged by men, by Kunari, by Andraste herself, and never fallen. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Bernardo Genetivi. The first blight had already raged for 90 years. 90 years! Holy crap. At Weishaupt Fortress. Wow, okay, so that's what it is. So they were originally Imperium soldiers. The Archdemon Dumas. Razikale, I remember Razikale and Dumas. 4 have risen as archdemons. That's insane. This is crazy. How could could you imagine being in a world where your gods were corrupted by some dark power? I don't even, what was the power? Okay, it was when man walked in the golden halls of the Maker's place, the Fade. So to me that says that there are multiple gods. Like there's the Maker, and unless it was just something else, it wasn't actually the Maker's golden hall. But the Dumas, like the dragon gods were real. Like you can't say that the gods, you can't be like the gods weren't real. You can't be like the Maker's the only god. Because obviously these were god. Well, unless, I don't know. I think they were gods, unless they just revered the dragons and called them gods, and they weren't actually gods. But how come other dragons haven't been affected by this, by the darkspawn, by the blight? You know. So when man corrupted the heavens is when their gods started to fall, which is interesting because a lot of times in religion and philosophy, people will say that, you know, man creates their own god. You know, their own gods, you know? They kind of model them after themselves. So, that's really, it's like, so like you've corrupted yourself, sort of, like by doing that, when the Archons, when they went into the Fade, they corrupted, but why? Why did they corrupt it? I mean, I know it was supposed to be this, like, it's the Fade, and you're not supposed to be there physically, but I don't know. Whoa, that's just... I can see why it was a big deal when that sort of a thing happened in Dragon Age Inquisition. Woo! His Arling stood on the border of the... He slew not only every wolf, I remember reading this, it really made me mad. Every member that you see in Wilder folk. Wow. Wow. And they tell of horrors beyond the wilds. So the Kokaris, or the Chasines still live. But it's like everybody lost in this, you know, like this Arl like killed everybody. And sons were sons and fathers and daughters and mothers, and when this mother found her dead sons, she cursed him and his army, and the army died, and then in the ruins, the ruins are still full of the ghosts of the other side, of the women on the other side, waiting forever for their husbands to return from the Arl's army. So it's like nobody won on that. But I'm very interested in Flemeth, that's for sure. I want to hear more about her. Yes. I remember reading this. Yikes. Ugh. So we're on the third blight, right? I can't remember if the one in Inquisition is the fourth or fifth. Okay. Good golly, this is gonna take ages. The Anar. Okay. Right. I think we went. Did we go there in Inquisition, or did we just hear about it? Okay. It's spiritually damaged, and because of this, the Chantry decides to use it as a prison. To be the wife of an Alamari warlord. So this maker seems like a really crappy guy. He's like, so I've abandoned my people, but I think you're really hot, so why don't you come up here and have babies with me? Like, I wouldn't want to worship that kind of a god. Like, he basically seems like all the other gods, you know what I mean? Like, just ones that satisfy their own selves, you know? Right, Mafrath the Betrayer. I don't know if she would actually. Does she keep saying, does she keep urging him to take pity on his children because she was betrayed? I mean, I know she's supposed to be this, like, saint, but... The rite of annulment, okay. Whoa. Wow. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? The rite of annulment is where they purge, they kill everybody in the circle? Oh my gosh. Not everybody... Just because this one guy and a couple of guys were mad doesn't mean the entire circle... That doesn't make sense. You're just trying to stave off killing with killing. Like, it's just fear upon fear upon fear. No wonder the mages did what they did. You know? Right, I've seen this in Inquisition. Mm-hmm. Right. It doesn't say claim the empty... They didn't want to claim the empty throne. They wanted to, like, be with their gods, wasn't it? Ah. Deep into they fled away from the light, darkness eternal. They searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer. The sleeping dragon Dumont, their taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world. The first blight. Okay. With souls made from dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Right. An unquenchable flame for man, and they have short lives that they may run and create and live instead of just sitting around being all happy and content with their lives. Isn't that weird? Yeah, you're content and stuff, so I don't like you. You're not entertaining me, so let's just make something else. Yeah, I don't like the maker. I'm not a fan. Cordelius Dracon! Okay. Yes. Hmm. Right, the fraternity. Oh, dangerous opinion, naturally. Right. No way, I thought the Aquitarians were supposed to be moderates. Okay. In order to get right. Right. Yikes. So it's like the Templars are chatting about the hierarchy of the circle and how to keep tabs on things. Right, is the truth universally not nothing more is more successful at inspiring a person to do mischief as being told not to do something. Unfortunately, the Chantry of the Divine Age had some trouble with obvious truths. It relegated mages to lighting candles and lamps. Ugh, my gosh. Yeah! I will give my readers a moment to contemplate how well such a role satisfied the mages of the time. Who was outraged? Oh my gosh! Who attempted to order an exalted march on our own cathedral? Oh my gosh! Negotiations were conducted by shouting back and forth from the loft. Ah, okay, so that's when the circle formed. The mages went cheerily into exile. Okay. The Fade. Always as close to as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated. Yeah, you can't map the Fade. Alright, so, well... So they do have ambition. A harrowing. Wow. Brought the in the TV. The waters of the Fade. Huh. Lyrium sings. cause deafness or memory loss. So, like, unprocessed lyrium would be like kryptonite for mages. Oh, so you can't just buy it. You can only, the Chantry can buy it. Ah. Huh. Huh. So, do all Templars go insane? Because to me that means that there should be like a mandatory year of years of serving. Like 20 years, and then you get to be like quietly retired. The Maleficarum. Those who work magic which dominates the minds and hearts of others, they have transgressed the Maker's laws. Oh god, the interpretation of religious words is always so arbitrary. The Maker hates and is a curse to everybody. He doesn't just hate people in particular. He doesn't like anybody. He doesn't pay attention to anything. It's like a little bit contradictory. I don't know. Like, the game's like, the Maker doesn't care, but also he hates you in particular and he likes you in particular. It's like, no, I think he hates everybody. You don't have to harm others. You can use your own blood or the blood of a willing participant. And by willing, I mean legitimately willing, like not like magicked into it or like psychologically impressed into doing it. I don't know. In Inquisition, I learned a little bit about it from Solus, and it doesn't, and from Dorian, and it doesn't necessarily seem. It's not evil in and of itself, and I always think of The Last Airbender. You know, when Korra learns how to bloodbend. It's not something she likes to do, and the people who use it generally are bad. Like, they're seen as like villains and stuff. But like, Korra knows how to bloodbend like a pro. It doesn't make her a bad person. It's just something. It's another. And I think it's another part of the knowledge of magic. Like, you can't just ignore a segment of magic because it makes you uncomfortable, you know? That shall be cast out. Mana is the measurement of one's ability to draw power from the Fade. Okay. Yikes. Cardinal rules of magic. No one has found any means of traveling over great distances or small ones. I'm putting one foot in front of the other. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Nor you magic the essay you forgot. Okay. Whoa. Oh, right. Only one says this barrier to overcome, and they require 2/3 of the Lyrium in this inventory pyramid, as well the lifeblood of several hundred slaves. And that's when the blight happened. The first blight. Life is finite. There's no failing of your skill or power. It is simple reality. But how much more? Okay. So we've got the tranquil, blood magic, and then the 4 schools of magic. Wait, no. Cardinal. Wait, no. Alright, no. Yeah, blood magic. Ah, I see. Ugh, that is so horrible. Like how you could justify that is beyond me. To use the blood of living people, slaves. It's like, use your own blood if you want. Don't even using the blood of a willing participant. I kind of go, yeah, but to use the blood of the unwilling is that's just wrong. Like on a moral level, you know, it's not blood magic's fault that's what it is. It's a power in any sort of magic or any sort of power type thing. Blood is powerful. Blood would allow him to find the sleeping minds of others, view their dreams, and even influence or dominate their thoughts. Okay. Alright, so that's the Forbidden School, right? Opposition in all things. Creation magic manipulates natural forces. I do enjoy entropy, like discussions involving entropy. To create, you have to destroy first. There's the constant entropic nature of the universe type thing. Right. The first of the 2 schools of energy. Spirit is opposed by primal. Oh shoot, it's confused for blood magic. I don't want to just specialize in primals. I'd rather specialize in any of the others. But primal, I think it's important to have because I gotta have some offensive abilities. The other ones, like offense abilities. The other ones are basically defensive or stuff like that, as far as I can tell anyway. Da-da. What is merely alive and merely part of the scenery? For the inexperienced researcher to agree all objects he encounters, or just sort of like blinders, be like doo-doo-doo, you know. Don't bother anything. Right, so that's not just spirits and demons. Everything's a spirit, right? Even the demons. Haha. Huh. So they latch on. I wonder how they choose, or if it's just the first thing they're exposed to or something, and how they choose. Compassion, a spirit of compassion. My homie. Oh, the most common and weakest form? I thought it was like a wisp. Hunger demon. Okay. Huh. Desire demons. Yep. Pride is our greatest failing. The trig comes up in Inquisition. Okay, I wasn't sure if the Formari was made up of the Tranquil. And they do, yeah, they're the source of wealth. So I guess the Lucarians would be very fond of the Tranquil then. Alright, good. Interesting. We're figuring out mage stuff. Archdemon, the false gods of Tevinter. Oh, we'll make her cast them down. So maybe were they worshipping... So were they dragons that wanted to be gods, and then the Maker was like, no, fool, and like shoved them back down under the earth. But there they could still kind of whisper to man and be worshipped as aka false gods. Yeah, why the Darkspawn don't just try to like murder everybody. They look for the sleeping, so the old gods are sleeping now. That would make sense. That's why like they're like a forced sleep. I mean, in Inquisition, I don't want to spoil too much of Inquisition, because I don't know if everybody's played it who's going to watch this. But, oh man, I really want to freaking, there's things I just want to talk about. Perhaps there's some desire for vengeance upon the ones who go to, so the Magisters, like, infect the Darkspawn, and they're like, because the Magisters were searching for the old gods to wreak vengeance upon them. At least that's what history tells us. Who knows if that's the truth? It's asleep, so it can't even defend itself. Okay. Spoilers for Dragon Age Inquisition. You've got like 2 seconds to like skip ahead a little bit. Okay. So, when Solus is talking at the end of Dragon Age Inquisition, he says that he awoke from his slumber and was unable to like do the power he needed. But how did he wake up? Like, he's the wolf, right? And either he put the gods to sleep for their own safety, and maybe that plan has backfired now. I'm pretty sure that the vibe I was getting is that the wolf isn't the bad guy. I think he possibly put them to sleep for their own safety. And he's trying to wake them up again. He's trying to save them. And they're not necessarily gods, but they are beings of incredible power that affected and still affect in many ways the way things go on in the world. And that's why he doesn't like the idea of killing the gods, the old gods, while they're still sleeping. And then I'm not sure if the Elvish gods and the Tevinter gods are the same. I don't think they are, but oh my gosh, it's really complicated. I am gonna find a way to play. The new DLC. I don't have an Xbox One, but I actually have a friend who might get an Xbox One. And I'm gonna port my save over to it and then play the DLC, because for some freaking reason BioWare decided that they'd make the game and all the DLC except the last one available on last gen consoles, except for the very last DLC, because I don't know, they're like, we wanted to have the AI interact a little bit more, the enemy AI, blah, 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 instead of just having a bunch of enemies on the screen, wanted them to buff each other and stuff. I'm like, you do realize that the reason people buy DLC is generally for they want story DLC. They don't necessarily want a better battle, which is cool and awesome to get, but you should at least make a version that's compatible with the versions that you've made up until this point. You can't just, and apparently it's supposed to like wrap up the story. You can't just you can't just make the last DLC that's gonna wrap up the latest game that you've made available. Everything, you made the game available last gen, you made all the other DLC available on last gen, but then you just decide inexplicably at the end to make it not available. You should at least make some sort of version that can be ported down to the Xbox 360. At least the story. I don't care about the enemy AI. Yeah, that'd be cool. But what I care about is getting the story wrapped up, because you left me with a huge cliffhanger. And if you're not going to make a whole other game to go with it, because that I could handle. I could handle a whole other game be available on next gen. That's fine. That's the way things go. But to make a DLC, the like fourth DLC, that you're making it unavailable, that's another day. This is Dragon Age Origins. It's not got any faults. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, no. Did we finish it? Right, yes. The strangest of all creatures. Tezpadam. Oh, good. Jumpers, spitters. Scare it. Yeah, when in Inquisition, when I actually, I think, currently have the Feraldan decor in my hall, because I very much enjoy seeing the dog, the wooden carvings. Who's Dane? Right, you couldn't just have a Mabari as a status symbol. It has to choose you, you know? To force it to be in your, you know, to be yours, that I think that would be risking life and limb. I really want one. I really want one. Right. Wow, firestorms. Huh, okay. Sloth demon. Wow. It is envy as much as sloth. Huh. A Templar commander. So was he in the Fade? That's interesting. The sloth demon is slothful. Ooh, that's a good point. Perhaps these creatures even cultivate such a reputation. Ah, they are so named because this is the portion of the human psyche that they feed upon. Doubt, apathy, entropy. Nice! They seek to spread these things. Ah, a master of shapes and disguises. So is this in Inquisition, is this the despair demon? Yeah. Yeah, it would they are basically the despair demons. I think being named a despair demon, because when they explain it in Inquisition, makes a little more sense. Sloth demon doesn't, the name doesn't really make sense at this point. Giant spiders. Oh right, they like to be where the veil has become thin. And they're also in caves. Oh, because spirits and demons try to pass through the world and the living take control. So it's not even just people. They try to so they have regular sized spiders, and then they have giant spiders. Okay, the wisp. A sliver of a thought that once was. A hatred of all living things. So the wisp isn't, it's like the will-o'-the-wisp, you know, which is sometimes seen as a beneficiary force, or more often a malevolent one. Wolf. Yeah, it's so weird that well, it does not. I guess it's not weird because wolves sometimes, at least back in the day, especially, they would kill the hounds because they were defending the area that the wolves wanted to get into. If people really like their hunting dogs, it can be almost guaranteed that they do not like wolves. I've found that. I like wolves. I think they're gorgeous. I think they're fantastic. And then there's the Legend of the Werewolves, right? Okay. Huh. That's true. Minerva is no, it's not. What is it? Minerva? It's not. It's Minave. Minave in Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm surprised I remember that. It's been a while. I did play that game for like over 100 hours. So, and I've started a second walkthrough on my own time. I'm recording it, but I've started a second playthrough where I'm playing through as a dude, and I'll be uploading that someday. But right now, I'm really interested in Origins. But Minave was researching how the blight, she was specifically doing the openings and the fade, but it also, the openings and the fade and the blight, how they affected the natural world around them, you know? And wolves were a problem. It was actually a quest you could take in Inquisition, was getting rid of infected wolves in the area. And then at the end, when you finish that, you hear a howl in the distance, and I think it's Solus who says, it says something like they're saying thank you for freeing us. You know what I mean? Like, because the wolves don't like, it's not fun for them to be cursed by Darkspawn, you know? Mad with the pain of infection. Yeah, ugh. Oh, man. So that was all of the Codex. It only took almost an hour. Awesome, though. I wanted to catch up on what we picked up in the circle before we headed out into the world and got too much into, this stuff. So I'll try to keep up on it. Again, I am playing this because I want to learn more about the world and the lore and everything. And I know there are a couple people who enjoy these types of videos. So me and you guys, we'll watch this. But anyway, thank you for joining me. If you did watch this one, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.